Hey folks, Jake and I are here to shoot an exhibition video for Andy's Vinyl Den's 777 mixtape contest. It's an exhibition because, well, life happened and I'm an old man. I'd planned to shoot this a couple weeks ago, didn't get around to it. Then last night, planning on getting it shot and up by midnight, but I fell asleep on the couch and it didn't happen. You know, what can I say? Sometimes when you're old, you just shut down. I don't take naps anymore. Naps take me. So, anyway, I thought it was a great, cool idea. And you know, I'm a, I'm a fan of Andy's channel. Love to watch his videos, and glad to consider him a friend. And so I want to show him some support. All right, so my buddy Blackmore Rules covered Christian metal and hard rock. I thought pretty good, so I thought I would do kind of what I grew up with as a teenager, first getting into Christian music, and do some '80s mainstream music. The music I'll be showing, would be something pretty typical of what you would find in a CCM magazine, which stood for Contemporary Christian Music. Um, yeah, I've divided the music into two sides because tapes have two sides, and I've tried to make them flow. So I would think if I were to make an actual mixtape, I would hope that these sides would flow really well. Um, not being too picky about themes or anything. So let's get right into it. Jeff Moore. I do not have the album that the song originally comes from. So I'm pulling it from this greatest hits CD. This is Jeff Moore, Familiar Stranger. The song is Why Should the Devil Have All the Good Music? That's a cover. He was covering Larry Norman, who was one of the first Christian rock artists ever. And but he had Norman sing on this song with him. And this was the first version of that song that I ever heard. I kind of like it a little bit better too. I think it's just kind of straightforward rock. So, song one, Jeff Moore and Larry Norman, Why Should the Devil Have All the Good Music? Song two comes from this record. This is Rick Kua, with the kind of phonetic spelling. The song I want off this one is I Want to Be Like You, a good hard rocking number. Yeah, Kua's love Kua. He was a bassist in the rock band The Outlaws. Then he kind of came to a crossroads where he probably could have continued with them or joined Spyro Gyra, the jazz fusion group, but instead he chose to go on his own and do the music that he wanted to do, and that's what he did. So that's Rick Kua. I Want to Be Like You. Then for the third song, I decided to go with a more mid-tempo song. That would be from this album, DeGarmo and Key, Rock Solid, Absolutely Live. The song is Addie, and I picked it because it is kind of mid-tempo. They originally did it on one of their first two albums. That was more of an acoustic version. I just like this version a little bit more. It's more of a full band sound, and has a spoken word segment in it that I just thought was cool, and I thought the live performance off this album was probably the best version of that song I'd ever heard. Song 4, side 1, song 4 will be Immigrant's Daughter, Margaret Becker. This is not the most rocking album in the world, but Immigrant's Daughter rocks, and Margaret Becker is a vocal powerhouse. I mean, she was drawing comparisons to Heart with her first album, so thought that would be a great song for number 4, Immigrant's Daughter, from Margaret Becker. And then close the album with Don't Tell Them Jesus Loves Them from Steve Camp. This album was kind of unique, coming from a Christian artist, that it was more of a social issue type of album. He was trying to motivate Christians to become involved, and the song Don't Tell Them Jesus Loves Them is a little misleading in its title, because the chorus is Don't Tell Them Jesus Loves Them until you're ready to love them too. So he was trying to call Christians not to hollow, well, English has just failed me. Shallowly, whatever. Don't proclaim Jesus' love in a trite manner. Don't Tell Them Jesus Loves Them from Justice. All right, so we're going to move to side 2, and like side 1, I wanted to pick a great opening song. Why Should the Devil Have All the Good Music has that little organ playing right before the guitars kick in. This song is I Will Rejoice from Mylon Lefevre and Broken Heart. Again, I don't believe I have the album that this comes from, or do I? Hold the phone. Keep them busy, Jake. Tell them a joke. Do something. Don't let the dead air. Don't leave us. What are you doing, co-host? All right. Maybe I do. Yes, I do. I Will Rejoice is actually from this album. Mylon Lefevre and Broken Heart. Sheep in Wolves Clothing. But I picked this song because it opens with keyboards. It was the 80s. There was a lot of keyboards. And then the drums kick in, and then the guitars kick in. There's this great instrumental part that kind of revs you up, and then leads into the song I Will Rejoice. Great opening track. All right, then number 2, again, I do not have the original album. I guess because a lot of these songs I was buying on cassette, and I've just not gotten the vinyl or CD, and I've been using these greatest hits albums to have them. This is Jim Morrison's Grave from Steve Taylor. Great rockin' number. This came out on an album, I Predict 1990. This is a box set called Now the Truth Can Be Told, which kind of pulled in most of the music he made in his career into this set that's got both a booklet and a CD. But Jim Morrison's Grave, love that song. It really rocks. Taylor was a little different. He wrote a lot of satire and a lot of songs that were quite deep, and so that I'm picking Jim Morrison's Grave as the second song. Third song from one of the greatest rock albums I've ever heard, Whiteheart's Freedom. I'm picking the third song off of it as my third song on the second side, and that's Let the Kingdom Come. Great rock song that builds up and just explodes in the middle. Rick Florian's vocals are just amazing. This band was as tight as could be. After this album, Tommy Sims would leave to join Bruce Springsteen, and yeah, just a great band. All right, we need kind of a ballad. I don't want to get too soft because then I might lose Blackmore Rules. But so I'm going to pick "Believe in Love" from Russ Taff. Well, you didn't think I was going to leave Russ Taff off this mixtape, did you? Just my favorite artist of all time. No, he's going to be on here and he's going to sing "Believe in Love." Great rockin' ballad. Love this album. Very unique album for its time period and the transparency of the lyrics. A lot of Christians were proclaiming the truth, but only part of the truth. They weren't really talking about the struggle in their own lives, and Russ really dug deep in his struggles on this album. And so "Believe in Love." That's my next to last song. And the final song, if you're going to open with "Why Should the Devil Have All the Good Music," then you got to close with Petra's "God Gave Rock and Roll to You," which, yeah, I know, that's a cover. Ardent did it first. Then Petra covered it actually on an album, one of their "Come and Join Us" from the 1970s. They covered it in the 70s. I might actually like that version a little bit better than this one, but I wanted to stick to the 80s. They covered it again on this album, "Beat the System." And, of course, Greg X. Volz singing lead. So, it's a great version, too. So, "God Gave Rock and Roll to You" to close out this mixtape. And sorry this tape's going to be so rough around the edges, but we're pressed for time. But I did want to show some support for Andy. Like I said, Andy, just love your channel, and like I said, I'm glad to call you my friend. So hope you enjoyed this, and sorry I didn't get it in on time, but as it is, I hope you'll enjoy it as kind of an exhibition video. So for me, for my lethargic co-host, hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.